Previously on Season 1 of 420 Central TV, we covered some exclusive interviews, curated informative content, covered some cannabis-related events, your weekly green news. Stay tuned for Season 2 of 420 Central TV.
Good morning and welcome to today's episode. We are thoroughly enjoying being here. We are getting to see and meet several of the people that are part of the Gauteng Legislature, and we're hoping for some exciting things to happen today. We're hoping the budgets are allocated to the right places and that this is the start of a brand new era for South Africa, for us in Gauteng and for the cannabis industry more especially. So this is a design that Zolani's put together, and it's amazing. It starts just as a cooler box, but it's got several other features. But I'm going to let Zolani talk you through it.
Exactly, I know things. Yeah, okay, this cooler box of mine, it charges the phone, and it has a see-through light, can be able to play music as well. And there's absolutely nothing like this in the world so far. So looking for a potential investor so that I can take my idea forward. This idea, like it is nothing like this in the world. You see, can be able like to save in the dark. Can charge the phones as well. Yeah, so. And it has, and also a solar system. It has a solar panel. Can be able to put your USB cables as well. So you can take it as a luggage. See? So it's like this. Like this.
We are tabling this budget following the State of the Nation address delivered by President Cyril Ramaphosa, followed by the State of the Province address by Premier Panyaza Lesufi, and of course, the national budget speech delivered by Finance Minister Gauteng. Honorable members, allow me to start where Premier Lesufi ended during the presentation of the State of the Province address. The Premier correctly and eloquently said, open quote, "Our people are not difficult. They are just asking all of us gathered here to do one thing and one thing only, to do our work. To do our work within budget, time, and without misusing public funds. Our economy is facing significant risks. Uncertainty is on the rise. It requires us to do bold things, to put the fear of failure aside and execute the difficult trade-offs needed to get from where we are now to where we want to be in future." Honorable members, in presenting this budget to the people of our province, let me be upfront and announce that we are injecting into the Gauteng economy a total of 493.4 billion over the medium-term expenditure framework, of which a bigger share of it will go into supporting township economy, creating jobs, especially for the youth, empowerment of women, and addressing the energy crisis, and of course supporting social services. One of the key drivers of the township economy is entrepreneurship, as many people start their own businesses in order to generate income and create more employment opportunities for our people. By supporting the growth of the township economy, it is indeed possible to create new jobs, increase access to goods and services, and promote the much-needed economic development in our communities. And let me be clear, despite the challenges we are facing as a province, we remain steadfast in our resolve. We are unwavering on this mandate, and of course, as we proceed, we will further talk to this. In other words, honorable members, this budget, a big part of it, will focus on supporting townships.
So just to give you a little bit of an update, we've had a whole lot of people through the foyer this morning, from policemen to ministers to interested people. We've had the chief from one of the South African tribes that has been here. Hopefully we'll catch up with him a little bit later. We're just waiting for the MEC of Finance to finish his speech, and then we're expecting all of those people to come back down here and walk through. So there's a lot more still to happen, but the fact that we're sitting in the foyer of the Gauteng Legislature is a massive move forward for cannabis, and we're hoping to use this to just completely start to explode our space and to be able to give recognition and to destigmatize and start giving cannabis the dignity that it deserves. So watch this space and come along with us.
I'll speak to Labatt Africa Group CEO Brian Van Rooyen. He joins us via Zoom for a little bit more on this. Thanks so much indeed for joining us, and welcome to the program, Mr. Van Rooyen.
Good evening, Peter, and good evening to the viewers.
All right, so it looks like, from the sound of this report, that we have so much potential, but we seem to be getting in our own way.
Yes, Peter, the fundamental thing for the South African market is the amount of expertise and the amount of technology that we've got in South Africa, which has been gladly taken by European markets. You know, our climate, we've been growing cannabis for many, many years. We've got different strains, we've got all the know-how, and yet the regulatory process is causing a problem. If one just looked at the 100-odd licenses, the conditions of those permits and licenses is beyond the reach of many, many South Africans. And let me just give you an example. If you have a license from SAPRA at the moment, you can only grow, cultivate, and export. You can do nothing with the product in South Africa. You export it, and in many cases, a lot of the retailers will import it back into South Africa. There's been a few licenses issued by SAPRA recently, and that is to extract. So now 4 or 5 licenses, people can extract from that. The problem that you have, we're falling back into the trap of our beneficiation of our mineral resources in South Africa. We're taking our top grade, and let's take our company as an example. We're exporting to Australia at the moment, and we're exporting a product at way below what our product is, basically just repackaged, adding a few things, and put 600 times more value onto the shelves in Australia. So that's just one of the examples. We've now received requests from European countries to supply them with product from South Africa. That's just on the medicinal and adult use side. Some of the countries in the European Union, like Germany, Spain, Portugal, have opened their markets. We still diddling with something that could unlock over 150,000 jobs if I just step slightly away from the medicinal cannabis in South Africa to the industrial hemp. Industrial hemp, for instance, could save so many subsistence farmers in various farming communities, women in farming, youth in farming. Because if we look at industrial hemp, for instance, those crops, you can have 4 to 5 crops a year as opposed to any other agricultural product in the country. So we've done an in-depth analysis. If I just mention one particular product out of hemp, and that is hemp plastic for the automobile industry in South Africa. That's over 4 or 5 billion rand a year. That's all imported. It can be grown in tons and tons in South Africa.
All right, so what are the authorities saying? Let's start with institutions like SAPRA. What rationale are they using for restricting the licenses and what you can do?
Peter, it's very complicated in this instance because as we speak, cannabis is still classified as Schedule 5 drug under the Narcotics Act. So from a medical and a medicinal point of view, I can understand the dilemma that SAPRA finds itself into in terms of regulation.